onto Yoyagi Park. Okay. Why are we here?
You like this park, don't you, Ryuki?
I feel calm when I'm around nature. It's like I can feel the buzz inside me quieting down. Tama, what do you think about what Tokiko said earlier? Is something like teleportation really possible?
If we're in a game world, yes.
Hey, come on. I told you the Philadelphia experiment is just an urban legend.
How else can you explain what happened with Jin? We can't deny that his right half suddenly appeared out of nowhere.
Jeez.
I mean, there was a blackout, so it technically could have been placed.
Then why don't we find out for ourselves?
What do you mean? You want to go to the studio right now?
No need. Just close your eyes.
And if you close your eyes...
My eyes?
Just do it!
Okay.
Whatever you say, mummy. Man, I really wanted to wink sync her. Gosh darn.
What the? Did we teleport here?
She's creating it in your mind, I guess?
Are you serious?
We're in Studio Devita, aren't we?
It just seems that way. We're not actually there. Last night, I scanned every nook and cranny of the scene. What you're looking at now is what I replicated using that data.
Wow. It's like I'm actually there. The corpse looks so real.
Want me to put a mosaic over it?
Uncensored is fine.
Now, less digressing and more investigating. Your objective is to solve the mystery behind the sudden appearance of Jin's right half.
All right, let's start looking around.
Virtual reality activation! The VR allows you to walk around the scene and gather information. Tama's special vision mode, such as X-ray, can be applied to everything. By changing the special mode, what you can inspect will change. Utilize this to find hidden info. Alright. Confirm the status of the body before the body combusted.
Like I mentioned yesterday, Jin's estimated time of death is 6 o'clock on February 9th. Based on the time his corpse appeared, it should be about 40 hours ago. Rigor mortis seems to be fading already. It's not completely gone yet, but the body has somewhat softened at this point. It should take more time to get to this stage if it's been on a rooftop in the winter. That's why I think this corpse was kept indoors. Someplace warm.
Okay. Rigor mortis was already fading, and the body had somewhat softened by the time it was found.
Wow, I can switch to X-ray mode too.
That's because I've gathered all data from the scene.
So then does anything change if I look at the corpse with X-ray mode on?
What's this? There's something inside the body.
Sure does.
3 things catch my attention.
One of them's going to be an explosive.
First, a mixture of potassium chlorate, sulfur, and red phosphorus.
That'll be that then.
This is probably a fire starter. It would ignite very easily. The fuse is coiled up and extends from there. By the way, the fuse includes an oxidizing agent, so it can continue to burn even inside the body. And finally, at the end of the fuse is a powder mixture of iron oxide
all 3
and
things are
aluminum.
part of the explosion. Okay.
This is a substance that causes a thermite reaction. When ignited, it creates heat of over 3,000 degrees Celsius and burns violently.
Inside the corpse is fuel that goes off with even the slightest impact. A fuse and a substance that causes a thermite reaction. Okay.
What's this? Getting a better look at it, it looks like something tied to his waist. It's like a spider's thread. No, even thinner.
My analysis concludes that this is a CNT, or carbon nanotube. Graphene sheets with the thickness of a single carbon atom. These were rolled into a cylindrical shape to make these nanotubes. The diameter is about 0.4 nanometers. A single nanometer is 1/1000th of 1 meter, so it's not visible to the naked eye.
What? But I can see it.
That's because this thread is made by bundling multiple CNTs. I've also enhanced your vision so you'd be able to see it. By the way, CNTs are extremely durable. They're elastic and hard to break, and it's said that their theoretical maximum tensile strength is 50 times that of steel. Anyway, where is the other end of the CNT connected?
To the ceiling, apparently. Oh, it's like... and then it goes somewhere else from the ceiling? The lights?
That way. Over by that red lamp.
Okay. Well, before we do that, let's look at everything else.
The questions for the quiz also show up here too. Huh.
So
These aren't
sort of
good for
dazzling
much other than for
lights.
show.
Okay, it's not going to be much else other than the stuff we have to look at, I guess. It's a camera. The body was shown to the entire world through this camera. Fanta.
Maybe it's for having tea during breaks.
Probably. Camera. Camera. Monitor.
Looks like it's there so the performers can check how they look on screen.
That's where we were. That's where Momo was. That's where Iris was. Okay, anything more about the
I
signboard?
wonder how deep this sign is embedded.
What do we do at times like these?
Right, the X-ray. The bottom part of the signboard is stuck pretty deep in there.
There's a bit of a curve at the tip. Kind of like a man's, you know what?
Oh yeah, they're fingers.
Couldn't you have compared it to a fishhook or something?
Well, it won't come out easily. Whoever stuck it in probably didn't want it pulled out.
Of course not. A signboard would be useless unless it's standing.
It's useless unless it's standing?
Let's not go there.
No, that's not what I meant.
Sign stabbing corpse. Cool. Oh shit, hello, there's a bunch of mannequins back here? I can see the back of the set. There are a bunch of mannequins here. Okay.
What's this?
It's the light switch. And there was a blackout and then it appeared.
It's the light switch.
Which means it was probably already up in the ceiling and just no one saw it, and then the lights were flipped and the string was knocked so that it could come down.
The CNT is tied to it.
So it didn't just appear, it was dropped and was pre-placed, ready to go before the show.
Okay, it looks like we're pretty much done investigating here. Using the clues we've gathered so far, we should be able to solve the mystery.
You mean the mystery of how Jin's body appeared? That's what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
The truth reenactment allows you to find the truth of the information you've gathered. Answer Tama's questions. Only by correctly answering will the truth be reenacted.
Let's get on that now. First thing, about that power outage when the body appeared. Was it really just a power outage?
Nope.
I was wondering about that too. The lights came back on way too quickly.
And other stuff didn't stop working, it was just the lights.
Plus, if the power did go out, the stream should have cut out at the same time.
But the stream went on, no problem.
So it wasn't an outage. The lights were switched off.
So how did the lights get turned off?
Well, I think I know what did it.
Someone pressed the button.
That's the switch that powers the lighting.
Yeah, let's not overthink this. Someone simply walked up and flipped this switch.
But no one was near the switch when the lights went out. Let's try to think of something else. An electric kettle?
Maybe if someone turned on this kettle while the studio was using its maximum amperage.
But the breaker didn't trip. There must be some other way.
Maybe one of the contestants' buttons does it?
The answer button by this contestant's seat is actually...
It's not a light switch.
Wait, but that just leaves this. So they're saying it was the other way around? It wasn't that the light switch was flipped which caused the body to drop. The body was dropped which caused the light switch to go?
There were bundled CNTs tied to the body.
I thought it was the other way around, but I guess that would make sense if someone was up there with it, waiting to push it. There, and the force of it falling would pull the string down, and it's tied to that, so it would pull the light switch up and off, I guess.
They were routed through the ceiling beams and onto the light switch.
But a dead body can't pull strings.
No, but it can fall. From the ceiling, I mean.
Now that you mention it, I thought I heard something hit the floor right after the lights went out.
The body fell from the ceiling and tugged on the CNT, which caused the light switch to turn off.
So on to the next question. The corpse was hidden up in the ceiling, right? Then how did it fall?
Someone had to have pushed it. The culprit dropped it from above?
The culprit must have been hiding up in the ceiling, and when the time was right, they dropped the corpse.
A simple answer, but no. I've already confirmed that no one was up there.
I guess it's the rigor mortis thing then. But that would have, how would they have
Can
timed?
you think of some other way?
How would they have timed the rigor mortis thing to happen so perfectly? And also, like, would it have perfectly landed flat down if it was just chance like that?
The culprit used the mechanism of the body softening after rigor mortis. The body must have been placed up in the ceiling like a bridge between two beams. It would stay up there while the body is still stiff. But as time passes and rigor mortis lessens, the corpse softens.
And that's what made it fall down. Now, for the final question. Why did the body explode and burn?
Because of the explody burny things.
Well, that can be explained by using the X-ray mode. It's because of the contraption set up inside the body. The ignition agent combusted from the impact of the body hitting the ground. The fire went up the coiled fuse and onto the substance that triggered a thermite reaction. The substance was eventually ignited, causing a huge explosion.
So that interval between the fall and explosion was because of the time it took for the fire to reach the end of the fuse. I get it. It was hard to find traces of that trick because it was such an analog method.
All right, I think we're starting to figure things out here. So you can turn off this VR space now.
No, not yet. That was just a rehearsal. We still have the main show.
What do you mean?
We're recreating the culprit's actions.
Are you telling me to do that?
You're the only actor here, aren't you?
Actor?
So, I'm Tama, the director and camera operator. Now that I'm in the director's chair, I'm not going to tolerate shoddy acting. So keep that in mind.
Are we recording something?
Of course we are. We're testing a theory here, so we need to create something that can be viewed objectively.
I have no idea what you're going on about.
Yeah, I'm a bit lost too, mate. What the fuck?
Shut your stupid mouth, you third-rate bit part actor! Are you too much of a moron to figure this out without the director having to tell you everything?
But...
Just zip it and play the culprit. If we're doing this, we're going for the Macademy Award.
Macademy? Like the nuts?
These nuts?
Enough! Let's get this started. Ready? Action!
Hi! I'm, the culprit
Why are we doing
who
this?
killed Jin. Now, prepare to witness an amazing show featuring this corpse.
Not only is your acting amateurish, but I don't even understand what kind of character you're trying to play here.
I am an amateur.
Well, this is just the beginning, so I'll give you a pass for now. Let's start with the positioning of the body. Where and how was it placed?
Well... it was right here. The body was placed so it was hung like a bridge between two beams.
You can place it like this because it was stiff from rigor mortis. So that's how they did the light trick.
Carbon nanotubes, CNT, were tied to the body. The CNT went up the beams and extended downward, onto the light switch.
CNT is too thin to be seen with the naked eye, so no one noticed it.
I've got it all set up. Now I just need to wait for the rigor mortis to subside.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be in character?
Boy! I sure hope the corpse gets softer soon. It needs to be soft and squishy. like it. Octopus!
This scene makes no sense. I'm cutting it out.
This whole bit makes no sense. I feel like this is stretching it out a little bit. Like, we've literally just gone over this whole thing. We don't need to... Like, we went over it in the discovery bit, and then we went over it again in the putting things on the timeline bit, and now we're going over it again, and I feel like, yeah, we all get it at this point. I don't feel like this part needs to exist. Like, we're just repeating the same information for the third time in a row.
You made me do it!
Also, I find it unlikely
rigor mortis began to subside.
that it would land perfectly flat. Like, you can see, like here, rigor mortis subsides, so the body starts to bend. So it would go down, it would drop down, but like, it would twist in the air. Like, the odds of it landing perfectly on that side, the odds of it still being tilted that way when it lands are very low.
The body falls, and the impact sets off the ignition agent inside it. The fire travels up the fuse line.
Soon after, a staff member turns on the lights.
Bam! A body appears, as if it teleported in out of nowhere. Sometime later, the burning fuse inside the body reaches the explosives. And that is the truth behind the corpse's sudden appearance and explosion!
Cut! Good work. I got some nice footage of the reenactment.
I still don't understand why the acting was necessary.
It wasn't. That last bit was not necessary, but cool that we've figured it out. But that does not explain how the fuck the other half did not appear until 6 years later. When it was not preserved at all, they said.
It all makes sense now. That corpse didn't teleport here after all.
Of course it didn't. Though the culprit obviously wanted it to seem that way.
Half of a body just suddenly appearing out of nowhere. Just like the Philadelphia experiment. Someone went through all that trouble to make it look like something strange occurred.
I think they also wanted to draw as much attention as possible to that sign. All so they could spread that QR video.
About the time rigor mortis would subside.
The culprit must have wanted the body to fall during the live stream, right? It would have been pointless otherwise. But could they really predict when rigor mortis would dissipate so accurately?
The culprit didn't put the corpse up on the ceiling beams while it was completely stiff. It had to have been after the body had started to soften, just slightly. That way, they could estimate that the body would fall in a few hours or so. The stream was scheduled for a whole 6 hours.
Yeah, so the odds of it was pretty good.
The culprit was fine as long as the body fell sometime during that period.
Why did the culprit blow up the corpse? I don't know, maybe to cover their tracks? Like, not be able to find any evidence on it?
Their goal was to make it seem like a supernatural phenomenon.
Or that.
That's why they couldn't leave the CNT on the scene.
Because it would give away the trick?
Right.
So that's why they caused a thermite reaction and destroyed the CNT.
CNT is highly flammable. It doesn't stand a chance against 3,000 degree temperatures, but it bonds with oxygen to create carbon dioxide, which helps extinguish the flame. About the reason the corpse's cross-section was facing downwards.
That body fell from the studio ceiling. If it fell sideways when it landed, the culprit's plans would have been ruined.
That was what I was saying. Are they going to give a reason for this?
Yes, like you said, it would have been pointless unless the sign was standing erect. Just like a man's you-know-what.
Again with that joke? Besides, it is not useless when it's not erect.
Exactly.
What?
There was another purpose to the sign. It's the same reason darts and rockets have tails.
I get it. The cut surface would naturally face the ground because of that sign. It was meant to control the body's posture as it fell.
Would that have actually worked? I feel like that's not how that would have worked.
So, to wrap it all up.
Like, obviously that works on planes because, like, you're dealing with long distances, but when it's just a short fall like that, I would have thought it would not make any difference and would just add a weight to one side of the body.
The culprit's motive was to make this seem like a supernatural phenomenon.
Well, I guess we'll
spread
go
the
with it,
QR
because that's
video,
what they're saying
right?
happened.
I don't know if that's all there is to it, but probably.
I wonder why Jin was chosen.
Who knows?
Where could his left side be?
It hasn't been found yet.
And won't be for 6 years.
Anyway, starting our search with the people who might have the intel we need is #1 rule of investigation, right?
Like who?
Jin's right half was up in the studio ceiling the whole time we were shooting the show. There must be someone who knew about it, or at least noticed it.
You mean... the director? Shinpei Wagai?
Right.
Where is he now?
I've tracked him down using his smartphone GPS. He's in Akihabara right now.
Well,
at the Maid Cafe, Sunfish Pocket.
Let's go talk to that idiot. Boop. And he's at the Maid Cafe. Of course he is. Of course he is. Guess we're going to see some mermaids. Maid Cafe. So. We have been here a few times. I've been here before a few times.
There he is!
Ah, shit!
What?
Damn!
How the fuck would he know that we're here, A, for him, and B, that we've figured he knows something? Why the fuck would he do that? That's such a dumb move by him. But then I guess he is pretty stupid, it does seem. As if you ducked under a bullet. You would not have time to do that. Especially not at that range. Didn't even get to hear the fucking beat drop.
Firing your gun in here? Are you insane? There are customers and staff in here.
My bad.
An apology is not gonna cut it.
Several people have called the authorities. The local police should be here soon.
Hey, can't you just let me go?
No.
What?
I told you, my girl's pregnant, right?
Then you shouldn't have been an idiot.
I can't go to jail!
You are.
That's why I accepted his offer in the first place. I needed money to take care of my kid.
Accepted whose offer?
Some guy named Terror. I don't know his real name. Haven't seen his face or heard his voice either. All my contact with him was through Nile.
What did he ask you to do?
He said,
I want to borrow your studio for an hour or so on the 10th before you start preparing for the stream. Do not let anyone near the studio during this time. That includes you. All you need to do is keep the entrance unlocked. That's all. I'll pay you 5 million. If everything goes well, I'll pay you on the night of the 11th. Wait, he didn't get paid up front? Did you get the money?
so me and the staff haven't met this Terror guy at all. I don't know what happened in the studio either.
But did you get paid?
I had no idea that was gonna happen.
Come to Class 3A at Sekeba High. You'll get your money there.
Class 3A at Sekeba High.
I feel like that would be a trap where they would kill him because he knows too much.
Ryuki!
Yeah, let's go.
Let's see. Are we going to be attempted to be killed here? Cheeky spot of attempted murder? Anyone? Oh. Well, shit.
The director of Horodori Institute of Genetics. Chikara Horodori.
No way. It can't be.
But he was such a fun-loving dude. Sag. Well, there we go. There's the second murder. Next day. Nothing to be done. Ryuki Chapter 2. Ikume Shrine. Nice. First time here this game.
Mr. Date told me about this shrine. This place is so full of nature, just like Yoyagi Park. It's just calming here.
I see.
Tama, would you mind giving me some support?
What do you mean?
I've been thinking about Chikara's murder.
Are you sure you're okay, Ryuki?
What do you mean?
I feel like all of this has been taking a huge mental toll on you.
I'm fine. More importantly, can you recreate the crime scene for me? I just need to close my eyes, right?
Yeah, but... Fine. I'll play along. You are technically my master. I can't disobey your orders.
Oh, yeah?
Thanks. Let's start then.
VR round 2.
It's perfect. It's just like the real thing.
I learned how to do 3D modeling in a correspondence course. Back when I was a student, my grandma told me I should learn a skill set.
It's a blackboard, nothing sus.
Chikara's right side. The cross-section is stuck right onto the blackboard.
What's the estimated time of death?
Based on the time the body was discovered, that would make it about 4 hours ago.
So, around 8 p.m. on February 11th. Right around the time we were meeting with Tokiko.
I'm sorry, Ryuki. This might freak you out, but there's something I have to tell you. Will you hear me out?
Sure.
What?
The thing is, this corpse is so cowardly that... it has no guts!
Shut the fuck up, Tama.
What?
I know. That was so bad. The joke was over before I even said it. But I just had to do it. I mean, look, the corpse is completely missing its guts. I couldn't let this chance pass me by.
Tama's trivia. The reason the corpse is on the blackboard is because it doesn't
Looks
have
like
internal
there aren't
organs.
any
The open
other
space
clues
inside the
here.
body has a lower pressure than the outside. It's similar to how suction cups work. Okay. Could we not have done this when we were actually there? Why did we leave and then recreate the crime scene just to x-ray it? We could have just x-rayed it when we were there.
Well, satisfied?
What about the security cameras?
I checked the footage, but I didn't see anyone suspicious. Of course, that place is huge, so there are plenty of areas the security cameras don't cover.
I assume that classroom is one of them.
Any cameras on campus?
None. You remember what Gen said? The security at Sekiba High is completely lacking.
About the Nile message Terra sent Chimpei.
I think he was lying about the money. Terror probably wanted someone to find Chikara's body.
You mean he wanted Chimpei to find it?
Not necessarily. It might have been for the police. Terror might have predicted that someone from the police would contact Chimpei.
Is Terra the culprit? Well, no shit.
That's my assumption. I can't think of any other suspects.
No, it's a completely different murderer that cuts people in half at the molecular level.
Just who is this terror?
I wouldn't be having so much trouble if I knew that.
It can't be Tokiko, can it?
Probably not, because she was away.
Tokiko was with me at Chikara's time of death. And she was in Okinawa during the incident with Jin.
It would be very unlikely.
Yeah, at the very least, it seems unlikely that she did it personally.
But something has been bothering me. I feel like Tokiko is involved somehow. Chikara was a member of NICE, and he knew about Bats 490. That's not all. The appearance of Jin's corpse was made to seem like a paranormal phenomenon, as if the same thing from the Philadelphia experiment had happened.
After all, we are living in nothing but a simulation. A false world created by a program.
Could she have done all this to give her claim credibility?
Nah.
I don't know, but it's possible.
She believes that that's true, so she's not looking to make things up. Like, she's trying to find things that actually do prove her theory. Not just, like, fake it to make it look as though she's right. Like, she wants it to be real. She's not... Yeah, it just wouldn't make any sense for her to do that.
In any case, let's go see Tokiko. I have to talk to her.
Understood. We've come this far. I'll back you up until you're satisfied.
Off we go again. I wonder if it'll let me wink sync her this time. I'll do it first this time if it does let me.
I've been expecting you. I thought you would be arriving soon.
What do you mean?
I mean, I knew you would come see me.
Whoops. What did that say? Oh, he just dotted. Damn it, I can't wing sync. Did you know someone named Chinpei Wagai?
No, I don't.
Then do you know about Terror?
I've heard that name on the news, yes. This is about the culprit, is it not?
Yes, but...
I have absolutely no idea who it could be. I'm sorry I can't help you, but...
Jin's right half didn't teleport.
I've solved the mystery, Miss Shigure. Jin's right half didn't teleport. It was just made to seem that way. It should have been obvious when you think about it. Teleportation? It's impossible.
Yeah, so's other people's minds living in different people's bodies, so...
We live in a simulation? This is a fake world created by a program?
Could be.
Impossible.
Could be.
Simulation theory is nothing but occult nonsense. Just a ludicrous myth like UFOs, ghosts, and Kappa. I'm sure there are people who'd like to believe in these things. And there are groups who profit by making people believe.
Mr. Ryuki, it appears as though there's been some misunderstanding. We of Nyes have nothing to do with this.
Are you sure about that? All the pieces would fit together if Nyes is the one that made the QR video. The falsified paranormal phenomenon. What was written on the signboard. It all advances your agenda. Could it be that you wanted to spread the QR video by showing that sign along with the corpse on stream?
As I've told you, we are not the ones who made the QR video. What is the purpose of the QR video in the first place? Are you saying there is some message urging people to join Nyes in it?
About Chikara's murder.
I know of the incident, of course. However...
Yes, I know you have an alibi. We were here, having a conversation during the time of Chikara Horadori's death. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're completely innocent. You are the president of Nyes. Surely you have plenty of subordinates who can do your bidding.
Are you implying I ordered someone to kill him?
It's a possibility.
And what would be my motive?
Well...
Remember what Tokiko said. Chikara Horadori is an avid believer in the Order of Percent. Their order and Nyes are heading in completely different directions.
Perhaps Nyes and the Order of Percent are hostile.
I see. You're suggesting there was a conflict between organizations. It is true that Nyes and the Order of Percent have differing beliefs. However, we are not at odds with one another. Both organizations believe in the simulation theory. In that respect, we are comrades.
What do Nyes and the Order of Percent believe in?
We are living in a simulation, a false world. And from this false world, we seek emancipation. That is what Nyes believes. On the other hand, the Order of Percent, we are living in a simulation, a false world. But they wish to remain imprisoned within it. Forever.
Forever?
Mr. Ryuki, have you ever played an open-world game where you play as a criminal?
A game that lets you rob, murder, blow things up, leave a trail of debris wherever you go.
Yeah.
An absurd, heinous game where you can freely commit all sorts of horrible crimes.
The Sims.
I've never played anything like that, but I know what you mean.
Then you can understand. If this is a false world created by someone, then the Order of Percent believe they can do whatever they wish. To them, this place is a true utopia. A dream world where they're allowed to do anything they want with no real consequences.
Oh, they think they're rich.
That's why they want to live here forever?
You just be rich and then you can do whatever the fuck you want with no consequences. Easy.
Exactly.
I get it. That's why Chikara was researching immortality.
In theory, using Purge, even immortality is achievable. The ultimate dream that humanity has been yearning for thousands of years. It will soon become a reality. What do you think? Isn't that wonderful?
About Chikara's research on immortality.
I am aware that Chikara was very particular about immortality. However, I will say one thing. One must not believe in eternal youth. Eternal youth is a lie.
Sure, whatever you say, lady.
By the way, Mr. Ryuki, do you remember what you said earlier?
Yes, that you have villain hair.
Simulation theory is nothing but occult nonsense. That is clearly false. The simulation theory is not occult. It falls within the realm of science. In fact, many esteemed scientists have given serious thought to the matter. The theory was originally proposed by a Swedish philosopher. However, the concept has been around since long ago, even as far back as the days of Plato and Zhuangzi. This world may be an illusion. At least, there is no way to prove it isn't an illusion.
Yeah, and no way to prove it is.
There are great people throughout history who have held such ideas.
But there's no way to prove it is an illusion either, is there?
Yeah.
No, there is plenty of science to support it.
Like what?
The holographic principle, theory of relativity, the measurement problem in quantum theory can also be considered proof.
Okay. Do explain. The Swedish philosophers claim?
I'd like to ask you one thing. Beings that are far more intelligent and advanced than we humans. Do you believe a civilization of such beings exists anywhere in this world?
Like on Earth?
And by this world, I mean all possible worlds in the entire universe, including those outside of our own.
Sure. Universe is fucking enormous. The odds of us being the only life that exists in the absolute fucking just impossible to comprehend massiveness of the universe, the odds are pretty low that we're the only things out there.
Well, somewhere out there, probably.
I agree. Taking that into consideration, we're left with three possibilities. 1. Civilization hasn't reached a level of technology advanced enough to create a simulation that can't be distinguished from reality. 2. Civilization has reached a level of technology advanced enough to accomplish this, but it hasn't for some reason. 3. Civilization has reached that level of technology and has no strong reason not to use it. Therefore, they've proceeded with creating an intricate simulation. Which of these do you think is most likely?
Are you saying it's 3?
That is what a famous Swedish philosopher believed, at least. He further explains, that civilization must have run simulations millions or even trillions of times. In which case, it would make sense to believe our world would be included in one of those simulations.
You're saying it's far more likely that we're one of the countless simulated worlds, rather than a world that exists in the one and only reality. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Additionally...
Even light cannot escape a black hole. I'm sure you've heard this before.
Additionally, the simulation in the real world may be a simulation itself. Kind of like a Matryoshka doll. Just so you know, I'm not saying I believe the simulation theory. The simulation theory isn't too credible because of this Matryoshka aspect. Fuck me, make it go faster. Even light cannot escape a black hole. I'm sure you've heard this before.
Information is the same. It cannot escape a black hole. It's known that the amount of information trapped in this way is not derived
Wait, could I have sped that up when it was
the black hole, but the surface area.
Can I speed things up when we're in conversations? I thought it's only when you're not in conversations, but actually maybe I could have sped that one up. Oh well.
Considering this, you can conclude that information in a three-dimensional space is stored in the boundary of its two-dimensional surface.
I really don't like that tip bar at the top. I feel like it's just more annoying than anything and just takes away from the actual story that's happening. It's just like random fucking nothings at the top. I feel like the game would be better if that didn't exist so far.
In other words, all information stored in this universe is encoded in a single flat plane, just like a hologram. Regarding gravity and other physical processes, They can be completely accounted for through the laws of physics defined by the boundary surface. Let's take a character from an action game, for example. When that character falls,
It's
you
Mario.
might think he was pulled to
It's
the ground
alt
by
universe
gravity.
Mario.
However, gravity does not actually exist in the game world. Only code that was written in the program. The character's body is merely made to show as if it fell based on its code.
You think this world is the same?
The holographic principle is not a theory. It is a principle. It has already been mathematically proven.
That's a nice watch.
I see. Then let us leave it at that.
Wait, what? What do you mean, let's leave it
In
at
any
that?
case, there is no denying that the simulation theory is true.
What? I say that's a nice watch and it stops you from fucking talking about the rest of the stuff? How does that make any sense? That fucking sucks.
But unlike Chikara, I have no interest in the concept of immortality, because my objective is to tear at the seams of this world and emancipate us all.
That's such a weird thing to cancel a conversation. That really sucks.
So you mean dying?
No. Death and emancipation are completely different. I have no desire to commit suicide, though I would be fine with dying at any time.
Because this world isn't real.
There is that, yes. However, there is another reason.
You are deeply depressed.
If I wish to do so, I can resurrect myself. We are living in a false world created by a program. Therefore, if we can rewrite its code, we can create miracles, like reincarnation, or even
Okay, that's a creepy fucking face you've got on there.
bringing someone who has already passed back to life.
Has this woman lost it?
Possibly.
Ryuki, you were right. There's clearly a lot of reasons to be suspicious of Tokiko.
Yeah. Let's check with Wingsync.
Okay, so next thing would be to wink sync with her, but we haven't got time to do that right now. So let us do a quick bit of Tamagotchiing and then wrap up for today. What food do you like? Sweet. I remember the taste of my first lovey. I became a childie. Tell me, Mori. Okay, you have fun with that. Right, that is where we'll be leaving it for today. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have, if you could leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share the videos around, share the playlist around if you can. I would really appreciate that. And I'll see you next time for more. The Somnium Files, Nirvana Initiative. Thanks for watching. See you then.